The UFC is the biggest MMA promoter event in the world, and it's not easy being a UFC fighter. Most of those who come to the UFC have incredible histories, some even starting unbeaten. But over time, in their fight in the UFC, natural selection will determine who is the best among them. Many fighters have come and gone, but we only see a few of the best who have made it to the top of the peak. Khamzat Chimaev is one such fighter. As we know, the UFC never stops bringing out great fighters and equipping them with their respective hype. Many of the fans nicknamed Khamzat Chimaev as Khabib Nurmagomedov too. But apparently, Khamzat Chimaev doesn't really like it when he is compared to Khabib Nurmagomedov. Khamzat Chimaev himself does have a lot in common with the Eagle, except for the fact that he has more hitting power in his hands compared to the Eagle. The hitting power was the speed and precision with which he was able to hit the target even more impressively. Khamzat Chimaev started his career 3-0 as an amateur with impressive results, then came on 6-0 in the same style as a professional. A common habit of stars is that, when someone special comes along, they are faced with a lot of tough demands in a relatively short amount of time, and fighters tend to be unprepared for the situation. But Khamzat Chimaev managed to prove who he is. In the space of 66 days, Khamzat Chimaev has managed 3 fights in the UFC with victories, while Dana White has also admitted that the UFC has given him top-class opponents. However, apart from that greatness, what other greatness did Khamzat Chimaev have that made him famous as he is today? 1. Never won by jury decision. As we know, Khamzat Chimaev has a total of 9 fights, of which 6 of them he finished in the first round, and he has never felt the third round. It was because he had beaten his opponents in the first and second rounds. Even Khamzat Chimaev has finished his 3 opponents in the UFC in almost 2 months. In his first fight at the UFC, Khamzat Chimaev had landed 118 punches in the first round before defeating his opponent John Phillips via a choke darce in the second. That way Khamzat Chimaev was able to land 1 hit in 2.5 seconds. If only Khamzat Chimaev had known that Tryon Jones' most recent record was 120 strokes in 2017, Khamzat Chimaev might have hit 3 more before the bell rang for the end of the round. Then, Khamzat Chimaev only needed the next 10 days to beat his second opponent in the UFC and set his record to 2-0. 2. 196-2. Maybe you ask, what is the meaning of 196? 2 it is a number where Khamzat Chimaev can land his attacks 196 times and only absorbs 2 hits in 1 round. This figure has made new history in 2020, wherein in the modern era of the UFC nothing can come close to Khamzat Chimaev's record on this one. The next record under Khamzat Chimaev is Phil Davis in 2010, where he has a ratio of 280-20, which is quite far from what Khamzat Chimaev has. Thus, Khamzat Chimaev has striking stats of 72% accuracy, takedown accuracy of 75%, offset by significant strike absorbed per minute of 0.1%, and takedown defense of 0%. A number beyond our imagination. 3. Ability-free wrestling, Sambo, BJJ. And amazing strike, and able to match it perfectly. You could say Chimaev is a complete fighter, where he has both bottom fights and terrible strikes. Aliskerov and Gerard were victims of the horrors of Chimaev, both of whom were rendered unconscious within 17 seconds of the start of the match. What's more, when we see Khamzat Chimaev's bottom fight, of course, we will remember Khabib Nurmagomedov, a fighter who has never been defeated in the UFC lightweight division. But Chimaev is more brutal, where his defense can overcome the opponent's counterattack when he takes down, so the opponent is completely helpless in the octagon ring. Four. Unpredictable shifts in attack. This is one of the advantages of Khamzat Chimaev, where he is very skilled in ground play, or changes to being a reliable striker when facing a fighter who wants to buy and sell punches in the octagon. Khamzat Chimaev's attacks are very unpredictable, which makes the opponent confused whether he wants to hit directly or want to play on the ground and knock his opponent down and make a clean clinch. 5. Able to beat COVID-19. Previously, Khamzat Chimaev had been scheduled to fight Leon Edwards in a high-profile UFC fight in January. However, he was forced to withdraw due to complications caused by COVID-19. That led to him being flown to Las Vegas in February to receive medical treatment. Due to this situation, Khamzat Chimaev reportedly retired in a post on social media in early March. But finally, Khamzat Chimaev managed to recover from COVID-19 and continued his training to undergo his next fight at UFC against Li Jingliang at UFC 267. Khamzat Chimaev has managed to beat COVID-19 and can he beat Li Jingliang at UFC 267 later. Six. Don't want to win points against Li Jingliang at UFC 267. In his fight against Li Jingliang later, Khamzat Chimaev is not only aiming for a points victory, but Khamzat Chimaev wants to finish off Li Jingliang either through a submission win or a TKO victory. For Khamzat Chimaev, this fight means a lot as this is Khamzat Chimaev's path to get duels against top fighters in the next UFC. As we know that, Khamzat Chimaev is currently not in the UFC top 15 welterweight list. Meanwhile, Li Jingliang is in 11th position in UFC welterweight. The name Khamzat Chimaev has started to be discussed because he is considered to have a fighting style similar to UFC legend Khabib Nurmagomedov. Well, that's a general idea of how great Khamzat Chimaev, the monstrous newcomer to the UFC, is. Share your opinion in the comments column. Don't forget to like and share the video. See you in other videos. See ya.